Today is July 16th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. Brought to you by Royal Banks of Missouri and Munganass St. Louis Acura. I am Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. Rammer, tonight is the Midsummer Classic. It is the 94th All-Star game for Major League Baseball down here in Arlington, Texas. But before we get to that, home run derby last night. How much of it did you get a chance to watch?
Almost all of it, most of it.
I would say, based on previous years, the first round, very boring to watch, to be there live at the Derby. And I know one of the format changes was taking away the head-to-head aspect in the first round. I think baseball made a mistake by getting rid of that. I really think that added to it, and I don't think we realized it until last night.
I honestly didn't give that aspect any thought. I thought the pace moved a little quicker. But it's dragged out. They're trying to fill that time slot, that television time slot, so they can't have it be, two guys back and forth. Okay, we're done. So they got to expand it somewhat for TV. But yeah, it's a little tedious.
Yeah, but it seemed on top of that, you didn't have the big home run hitters in the game for the most part. When you think home run hitters in baseball, you don't think Bobby Witt Jr., you don't think Alex Bohm, both of who did perform well last night.
You may now, though.
I don't think so. When I think of Bobby Witt, I'm going to think of his defense. I'm going to think of his speed. I don't think Bobby Witt's putting up 35, 40 home run seasons.
Well, he's still a kid. We'll see.
He is still a kid. But once
is that the point, though? So what would you do?
You want dingers, right? I mean, you want big time home runs. I know, looking at some of the betting odds last night, when it came to distances of the home runs, I believe it was guys like Pete Alonso, Marcell Ozuna. The over-under for distance of their home runs was 469.5. And I think only one home run, maybe two home runs all of last night went over 470 feet. I want to see the long balls. I want to see the ones that are going into the second deck, maybe even the third deck. I want people that bring their gloves that don't normally get home runs in those sections to be just peppered with baseballs all night. So,
well, that's an interesting take. You like what you like. As I told you yesterday, it doesn't thrill me either way. So I'm going to defer to your opinion, because you're an event guy. You like big, and that's consistent.
Yeah. So that was, So last night, we'll see what changes baseball makes in the future. Also, what was making rounds last night was the national anthem beforehand. I got several texts. Rammer, it's not all, when I'm at these events, I'll have friends text me about certain things that happen there. I got multiple texts last night after the national anthem was over asking me if it sounded as bad in person as it did over the TV. I don't know how familiar you are with Ingrid Anders, up-and-coming.
I had never heard of her until last night.
Up-and-coming country singer, has a few songs out there, has a very, very unique voice. Not the kind of voice you want for the national anthem. Her songs...
Horrible.
Yeah, songs are very good. Her music is very good. She has a sound. She has a certain sound to her. Not the right choice for that.
It was an awful, awful choice. I can't imagine it being worse, except for some of the ones we've seen. You can go on YouTube and see them where people forget the words. A lot of times it's former players and non-professionals that just, and my pet peeve on the anthem is when singers use it to show off and make the pace kind of like a funeral dirge. I've always believed it should be fast-paced, uplifting, get everybody fired up kind of a song, not like you're at a funeral. So that's just my taste. Doesn't mean I'm right. It's just what I like. But that was, in every respect, awful.
I have not seen who is singing tonight, but we will probably get all kinds of critiques after it's done and comparisons to what we saw last night before the Derby. We will get to the lineups for tonight's game, but first, yesterday was media day out at the ballpark. First off, I want to say this: the Globe Life Field. If you haven't looked at the dimensions of it, if you haven't looked at the setup of it, it is a very unique ballpark with the dimensions of the wall. And if you read further into it, the distances, the numbers behind them all have meaning to them as far as how many feet away the walls are. Like a 334 is the distance on one of the walls. That is a tribute to Nolan Ryan. So ones, certain numbers like that, but there is a spot in right center, deep right, more towards center field, where the wall does shoot out like 2 extra feet, just for a certain distance of the wall. So if you have time, if you're going to watch the game tonight and you want to go look at the dimensions of that, it is a very unique setup in the wall. And then when you're sitting up high and you actually see all of the dimensions, it really does jump out at you there at the stadium. I will tell you that my prediction tonight, we get our second inside the park home run in an all-star game tonight. That's my prediction tonight based on the walls at Globe Life Field.
I wonder what the odds would be on a prop bet on that. Have you looked it up yet?
I have not looked it up yet. So funny thing, in Texas,
how much are you going to put down on it?
I'm going to have to, I'd have to have somebody else do it. In Texas, you can only bet parlays. There are restrictions as to what you can place bets on in the state of Texas. So I cannot do that this evening. Had a chance though yesterday, talked with Ryan Helsley. That's up on our YouTube page. Go to Claibs Online, find that, talk to him. Really, an hour before it was announced that he will not be playing in the game tonight. If you haven't heard that yet, he has opted to not pitch in the game tonight. He has been replaced on the roster, so he will not be active in the game tonight. So therefore, no Cardinals will be playing in tonight's All-Star game. They replaced him with a member of the Washington Nationals, but we did talk about kind of his use during the season and his how prepared he is for the second half of the year based on what he did in the first half of the year. You can find that out on Claibs Online. One thing I will be posting later today, Rammer, is a conversation I had with Stephen Kwan, the current AL batting leader, batting average, hitting 350 right now, just became eligible to be in the lead for that. And we talked about the art of hitting in with a 2-strike approach. If you haven't seen it yet, Stephen Kwan and Luis Arraez are the 2 of the top 3 lowest exit velocities in all of baseball. They have the 2 highest batting averages in all of baseball. So for everybody that thinks exit velocity is sexy and you need to have 110 off the bat to be successful, those are the 2 most successful hitters in baseball right now as far as average goes, and they hit it softer than anybody.
Yeah, I love to see it. Of course, every lineup would like balance on base and then people with power as well, to get a real nice balanced lineup. But those kind of guys are few and far between, and I, for one, love watching them play.
Rammer, the lineups for tonight's game, a lineup nerd like you, I'm sure, has a lot of fun when you get to see all-star lineups and you get to figure out where to bat the 9 best in each league. For the National League, they will lead off with Ketel Marte at second base, Shohei Ohtani DHing, Trey Turner at short, Bryce Harper at first, William Contreras is behind the plate, Christian Yelich in right, Alex Bohm at third, Teoscar Hernandez in center, and Jurickson Profar is in left. For the American League, Stephen Kwan is in left field. Well, I'll stop here. Your thoughts on the NL lineup, Rammer? Give me your take on putting that lineup together and putting those 9 in order.
It's frighteningly good, isn't it? It's just amazing when you look at all those players. It's funny that they want Ohtani too and not Turner. Maybe they just didn't want to put Ohtani and Harper back to back. Man, that's navigating that lineup though will be incredible. I think it's fine.
For the American League, Stephen Kwan leads off. He is in left field. Gunnar Henderson at short. Juan Soto in right. Aaron Judge is in center. Yordan Alvarez DHs. Jose Ramirez at third. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is at first. Adley Rutschman catches. And Marcus Semien of the Texas Rangers, he is playing second and batting ninth.
I think the National League lineup's a little bit better.
Really?
I do. I think it's a little better. I think the bottom of their order is better than the American League. Although having Ramirez down that low, what a luxury that is. He is such a good player. I think I like the National League lineup a tiny bit better.
My issue with the American League lineup, I cannot wait to see Paul Skeens pitch against these American League hitters tonight. I wish we were guaranteed Aaron Judge versus Paul Skeens in the first inning. The only way that happens is one of the three guys have to get on base.
Yeah.
So that is my one.
Fun.
Yeah, that is my one pet peeve because of that. Stephen Kwan did say that Aaron Judge has already told him, "Hey, I need you to get on base so I can face him."
Isn't that cool?
And Jose Ramirez also told Stephen Kwan, "Hey, I need you on base so I can drive you in." So
very nice.
A lot of pressure on the American League leadoff hitter for tonight's game. But I do think, yes, if I'm making the AL lineup, I think I move Kwan down in the lineup and I bump everybody else up one to go Gunnar Henderson, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge as my first three to face Skeens.
Pretty dynamic
in that first inning. It will be Paul Skeens against Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns, the former Brewer, traded late in spring training or late in the offseason over to the Baltimore Orioles and has been just outstanding for them, everything that they had hoped for with that. But all eyes will be on Paul Skeens tonight, the rookie that was just drafted a year ago. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch him wheel and deal against those American leaguers in the first.
You know, when you talk about competition, it's always fun watching him wheel and deal, or maybe that lineup will light him up. Either way, that's what we're looking for. We want to see the best against the best.
Exactly. Yeah, we will see that later on tonight as the All-Star game gets started around 7:00 from Globe Life Field this evening. The next time Rammer and I come your way, a preview of the second half of the Cardinals season as they get things going again on Friday. And we will be back with another edition of Daily Cards Live, brought to you as always by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Rammer Royal Banks.
You know, Royal Banks has expanded over the last few years. They've been around over 60 years. And every time they expand, they make their new branch feel like your hometown bank, because it is. These are your friends and neighbors working at the bank, and they know you and you know them. St. Louis, St. Charles County, the East Side, Northeast Missouri with 3 locations. It's Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We will talk to you next time right here on Daily Card Live.
Mungenast St. Louis Acura is making room for the 2025 MDX, so that means great deals for you on the 2024 MDX. We have over 100 2024 MDX models in stock, and you get financing as low as 3.9% for up to 60 months. Or you can lease a new MDX for just $559 per month for 36 months. Or get the MDX technology model for just $589 per month for 36 months. Mungenast St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.